that there are 13 different subcategories of cholesterol, not two. Not only that, we know they come in different sizes, and those sizes actually matter. Sometimes the size of a lipoprotein is like a big fluffy tennis ball, doesn't really do much damage. Other times it's a nasty little atherogenic BB gun particle sized one. Those sizes matter. The pattern of distribution matters. And what matters the most is the number of lipoproteins. Because think about this. Just as a logical management task, if you've got to manage a crowd of millions of people, there's more likelihood of accidents. There's more likelihood of somebody has a gun. If you're managing a marine and you want to make sure the boats are all safe, the more boats in the water, more likelihood somebody accidentally bumps up against another. If you're a bouncer and a bartender, the more crowded the bar, the more likelihood somebody spills a drink, somebody starts a fight. It's the same thing with the bloodstream. We need to be looking at how many lipoproteins are in the water. And this is the punchline. We have the tests to do all of that. We've got the iPhone 12s and the Galaxy 9s, but doctors are still using this test from 1963, and worse, they're prescribing drugs based upon this test, which is defective. So our first mission is to retire the HDL-LDL test forever and put it on the dustbin of out-of-date ideas where it has long belonged.
Well, so what's the replacement? You obviously have one, and I obviously have one, but I'm interviewing you.
It's the same replacement. We now have this technology. It's called nuclear magnetic resonance, NMR, and there's an MR cholesterol test, and it looks under the hood. And I show people and readers when I'm doing this, with PowerPoint, I show them mine. And it's just a there's different tests available to every major lab in the country. LabCorp and Quest, these are the ones your doctor uses. They all offer a version of this. Some of them call it the lipo panel, the advanced lipid profile, the NMR particle test. Doesn't matter. They all look at the same data, which is all the subtypes of cholesterol, the number of boats in the water, which predicts heart disease way better than the amount of cargo in the boat, and finally the pattern of distribution of whether they're big particles or little particles. This is valuable information. This matters. The HDL-LDL test does not.
So I'll give you an example. I do those in my office. That's what we order, and we use several labs to do it. But interestingly, I had a woman yesterday in my office who we go through all this, and she has very few small dense LDL particles. She doesn't oxidize her small dense particles. She doesn't oxidize her ApoB, and we're just kind of talking shop. But we get all done, and I say, you are at so low risk. And she said, how can you say that? Because my cardiologist showed me that my total cholesterol is 242, and I'm a walking time bomb, and I have to be on a statin drug. And this is true. This was yesterday.
I believe you. I'll match your horror story for horror. How about this? I have a very close friend, 69 years old. She doesn't have an ounce of body fat. As a human being, her risk factors for heart disease are probably around zero. Exercises every day. Joyous life. Great cook. Wonderful family. Low inflammatory measures. Everything is low blood sugar. It's all perfect, right? She's got a 300-something cholesterol. Her doctor's, you're on a statin or I'm firing you as a patient. Now, we've gone through this for years, and I've said, get the real test, and then we'll talk. Wouldn't do it. No, we don't need it. So finally, when it was like she was either going to change doctors or he was going to fire her, he says, I'll tell you what, we'll do a compromise. We'll do a calcium coronary scan. And for anybody, I'm sure your audience knows what that is. It's a picture. We're not going to guess because of the cholesterol. We're going to look inside the arteries and see if there's any plaque. And the scores go from 0 to like 1,000, and there's a whole algorithm. And so she's 69. She goes in. She says this, and they say this will be the final arbiter.